Lizzie, do you know?
I have no idea. I'm leaving that one alone. Here I was thinking you were a serious journalist.
Yeah.
No. Why are you running?
Who are you?
What's got to do with you?
4 months ago, all right?
Until they clean up
And this
their
time
yard,
fair
the
comes.
rats won't go
We
away.
don't know it.
Is this all hocus pocus?
Can you say, abracadabra, here's your pay?
I'm pretty fit, Abdullah. I can keep running.
Go. It's called a current affair Australia. Is that what I know?
Have a lovely day.
Hello, I'm Lizzie Pearl.
Well, hello, Lizzie Pearl. I am Steve Marshall. How you doing?
Very good, very good. Welcome to this episode of That's ACA. And what are we here to do, Steve?
Well, we are here to take people behind the scenes of Australia's most watched and most popular current affairs show, A Current Affair.
Aptly named A Current Affair.
Yeah.
And what have we got on this week?
This week we're talking tip-offs, tricky titles, and turning the tables. Yeah.
I like the alliteration you've done there.
Plus, I
Steve.
think we've got an update, a story update, 30 years in the making, right?
And this is what we can
Yeah.
do at A Current Affair because we have been on air for more than 50 years. We can bring you updates 30 years in the making. And it's a really beautiful story, so I can't wait to talk about that one.
First of all, I've got an issue.
What's that?
I've received a tip-off in the office. Yeah. You know our office lolly jar?
I'm very
Yeah,
familiar with the
yeah.
office lolly jar.
I've been informed that some of the lollies in that jar are imposters.
What?
Yeah. That the freckles aren't real freckles.
Are you serious?
Definitely serious.
And how is it not a real freckle?
I'm not sure about that, but I will get to the bottom of it. But that is thanks to a tip-off.
And I think that tip-off was me.
No. Well, thanks, Naomi, our producer.
We take tip-offs
there.
from anywhere.
Yeah, we certainly do, which brings us to how important tip-offs are, right?
So important.
These come from the audience, and we wouldn't be what we are without people writing in to ACA at aca@9.com.au with story tips. You know, it might be as simple as, hey, have you heard about this person doing this particular thing? Or it might be, you know, hey, this guy or this woman was on your show, you know, a couple of years ago, and they're back doing what they were doing back then. So
Yeah.
we pick up the batten and we run with it, don't we?
Yeah, and we can't really do our job without those people
Yeah.
because we can't be everywhere at all times. And really is the heart and soul of our show is
Yeah.
people letting us know what's going on in their life, in their world, in their street, in their suburb.
That's right. I'll just have a drink. Oh,
What have you got there?
Lovely mug there, Lizzie. Did you provide these?
Yes, we've got our own merch here. Although we do like to recycle here at ACA.
For those listening, this is we've got two cups in front of us, and both of them have Lizzie's face printed on them.
Look,
Sadly, not my face.
No,
but I'm
maybe
just the guy.
one day, Steve, you might get your own merch. These are recycled from the Weekend
Yeah.
Today show, my other job here at the Nine Network. It's a long-running in-joke, and somehow it's made it onto the TV. But
Yeah.
yeah, look, if no one's going to make merch for you, you've got to make your own.
It's
Do your own PR, I say.
Look, enough about you.
Yes.
Let's talk about you for a bit.
Enough about me.
What have you been up to?
Look, I've been out and about
Yeah.
shooting some stories. I've actually had a bit of a run of shooting some lovely stories with some old people. And we love, you know, the older generation here at A Current Affair. They're very loyal viewers.
Very
They
loyal.
love watching and we love telling their stories. And
Yeah.
I've been out and about with some very fit, elite athletes who are well into their 80s. So I can't wait to bring that story in the next couple of
Brilliant.
weeks.
Speaking of long-time viewers and tip-offs, right, story tip-offs, we received one a few years ago from Nita. And this story was called Weight Watchers Love Triangle.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this is a story about Nita and her partner Stephen, who... Stephen wanted to lose a few kilos and he went to Weight Watchers. Mm-hmm. He did lose the kilos, but he also picked up a fiancée.
Gained.
Gained a fiancé. Right, yeah. And
Wow.
Nita wasn't too happy about it, right?
Okay.
So she wrote into A Current Affair, and it wasn't just a tip-off. This is where tip-offs become the person writing in becomes their own sleuth, does their own
Yes.
detective work. And I went and saw Nita about this because Nita was one of the first people in Australia charged with revenge porn, sending revenge pornography over the internet. And the story was that she found out Stephen was having an affair with someone from Weight Watchers. She wanted to prove that Stephen was still with her. So Nita sent the other woman a photograph of Stephen's name tattooed on her back, her lower back.
What?
Yeah. The problem was there was a part of Stephen's appendage was in that photo, right? Yeah.
Accidentally.
But when you send it over your mobile, you don't see the whole photo.
cropped.
So when the other woman picked up the photo at the other end and opened it up, she saw the whole
Shebang.
She saw it, yeah. And it wasn't the whole shebang, it was just a bit, right? A bit. And this is in our story.
So that's Kathy. So we've seen her. He's dropped my hand and he's took off. He's ducked. Bub, come here, come here. And I'm standing there. What's wrong, Stephen? Because I knew exactly who she was. And she's looking at him and I'm looking at him.
And then you ran and hid behind the women's clothing rack.
Yeah, no, that wasn't true. No, it was clothing rack, no.
Did you run away though?
No, I didn't run away. No, didn't run away. Didn't even see Kathy there.
And he bolted out of that store.
But you knew exactly what he was doing.
I knew exactly what was going on. So I sent this photo
Okay.
and I wanted her to see that the tattoo's still there, and that's how committed I was to him, that I got his name so big across my back.
Okay.
So when I sent that photograph, all I could see was that tattoo.
Yeah.
Now, when she's received it on the other end, she's clicked on that and you could see this in the bottom corner. It actually looks like a thumb or something. But, so,
It's not.
no, it's not.
No. We're showing people a censored version of the picture with a thumb covering up the offending body part.
It's not a cat, is it?
A cat? No, it's not a cat.
How can you say whose it is?
Could be anything. It's in a bathroom.
But do you think that this should have ended up in court?
No, I think that's pretty tame.
And even the magistrate more or less made a joke about it. The magistrate's like, really? Well, the focus for me was the tattoo and all I could see was this little thing down in the left corner and he wiggled his finger like that.
It's embarrassing. You know, she's even admitted on several, I think on Instagram, basically that I've got the most famous penis in Australia.
We interviewed Nita, then we hit up Stephen, and I knocked on his door, and he opened up and said, I've been waiting for you.
Oh, really? He knew you were coming.
He knew we were coming, yeah. But to his credit, Stephen sat down and talked me through his side of the situation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very entertaining. But there you go.
Goodness me.
Yeah.
But that's, an example of someone who's done their own homework and has come to you with the full
That's right.
timeline, this and that, and the details and the times and the dates and all that kind of thing.
That's right. And I thought Stephen would run a mile, right? But I went to his house and knocked on his door, and he said, I've been waiting for you. I said, would you like to take part in the interview? Nita has said this, you deserve a right of reply. It's obviously a very personal issue, and I totally understand if you don't want to take part, but look, the story's going to air. He said, give me 20 minutes. So the crew and I went for a coffee, and then we came back, and Steve opened the door and invited us in. And it just wasn't him. It was his now fiance was there, and he also invited his parents over as well to take part.
Really?
Yeah. So look, it was a very even story.
Yeah.
But boy, did it go off on social media.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You never know what you're going to get. You never know what's going to happen on the road, and you just have to be very flexible and pivot and go with whatever's happening and bring it to the people.
That's right. A tricky story, that one. Speaking of tricky, tricky titles. And now we're getting into the realm of names, number plates. We get a lot of these stories that come to us where people have been knocked back by the authorities because they can't have a certain license plate number.
What's in a name?
Yeah, what's in a name? What is in a name, Lizzie?
Yeah.
What have we got?
Well, we had one recently. This woman, her name is Indica, spelled I-N-D-I-C-A.
Indica. Okay.
Indica, that's her name. It's a bit like India. It's a nice name. She's had this name her whole life, a young mum. So she went to try and get number plates, personalised number plates with her name, spelt I-N-D-I-C-A.
Yeah.
Knocked back.
the plates she wanted, featuring her first name.
Just Indica, my legal name, INDICA.
A name given to her by her own mum.
She heard someone else named it Indica, but with a K. So, yeah, she loved it for years. And then when she finally had me, she named me the name she loved.
It wasn't until her plates were denied by Personalised Plates Queensland that Indica found out her name had another meaning.
The person from PPQ told me it's a strand of marijuana. So that's why they've deemed it inappropriate.
I mean, if it's so offensive, 99% of the population have no idea. So 99% of the population is not offended.
And it wouldn't have been knocked back in LA, surely.
Certainly would not be knocked back in LA. It's embraced in LA. But look, she is challenging. Indica is challenging that ruling. So there's a watch and wait on that story.
I guess, so what's in a name?
What's in a name?
Yeah. Remember swastika, the woman swastika who wrote in?
Yeah, I did a story with beautiful swastika. Look, she's a young mum also. She's of Hindu faith. She grew up in Fiji. There's a lot of little girls around the world whose name is swastika. It means good luck and prosperity in Sanskrit. And she had a real problem because Uber, global transport giant Uber, threw her off the platform. She couldn't use Uber Eats. She couldn't catch an Uber anywhere using her real name, which is swastika. She grew up with her two sisters in Fiji, a normal childhood in Suva, where her name didn't stand out at all. And so in a typical Indian or Fijian classroom, would swastika be as common as Kate or Sarah here in Australia?
So it was very common name. It's good luck. It means good things for me.
Her name is Hindi, given to her by her parents after consulting the family priest in Fiji.
It's derived from Sanskrit. When I was born, we went to the priest. They looked at the time and birth and the horoscope, and based on that, all of that, the name is given to us.
Her name is on her birth certificate, on her Australian citizenship certificate, her healthcare card, her licence. Never any problems until October last year, when Uber banned her account, telling her her name was a violation, given its appropriation by the Nazi Party and neo-Nazis. She would have to change it to get back on the app.
So I was just putting an order for food on one afternoon and then went to the payment stage, and then this pop-up came up saying your first name is in violation and you need to change your name on that.
She was made to feel like she had done something wrong, that she was offending people, and was made to feel awful just for using her own real name. And she was such a lovely, beautiful woman, but she really took a stand on this one because, yes, she could have used a different name and all that thing and it would have been okay, but she said she wanted to stand up for all the other little girls around the world whose name is swastika.
And you did the story? And we got a result.
We did get a result. I mean, swastika did a lot of hard work on this herself. She ended up getting the backing from the Hindu Council. She also got support from the Jewish Board of Deputies and the New South Wales Attorney General, who all backed her in challenging Uber, and she was reinstated on the platform, but not without, a fair degree of angst and a lot of upset from swastika as well.
So back to number plates. We had an email from a gentleman called Hard Dick Kumar, Hardik Kumar, Kumar, and he was knocked back.
And what did he want?
For a license plate.
He wanted his first name on his
plate. Look, we ummed and ahed about this story in the office about whether we proceed, but unfortunately, this one was right on the edge, and we decided against it purely because we didn't want to offend the audience at 7 p.m. Isn't that right, Naomi?
That is correct. The boss said no.
The boss said no.
Boss says no.
Poor Mr. Kumar.
Poor Mr. Kumar.
Is what I'll
but
call
we
him.
did think about it, Hardik, and I hope you've got the result that you wanted. And whether did Hardik stand up?
Steve Marshall.
Lizzie, do you know?
I have no idea. I'm leaving that one alone. Here I was thinking you were a serious journalist.
Yeah.
No.
So,
But we've got plenty of other examples. Now, there was a flamboyant lawyer a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And what did he want on his number plate?
well, this is the ultimate segue. His number plate was a leg opener.
So LGO PNR.
That's it.
And he actually got it right through. He got through Transport for New South Wales.
Yeah, he got the license plate, and he was like driving along happily in his bright coloured Lambo.
Bright yellow Lamborghini
And
with the number plate.
It was pulled over by the coppers.
LGO PNR, leg opener. Pulled over by the cops, threatened with a $2,000 fine. He's a criminal lawyer. He was like, bring it on. Went to court, fought it, didn't win.
And like people that buy those sorts of cars obviously want to look attractive out and about and attract, a potential lover, right? Would that work, Lizzie?
Not on me, Steve. But each to their own. Whatever floats your boat. If that's what does it for you, great.
Did he manage to keep that license plate number, or did the authorities shut the door?
I think he doesn't have it anymore. He actually changed it to double XL ego, which he said stood for extra, extra large ego. So, which isn't offensive.
Clearly not. Okay, moving on. You have been out and about filming a fantastic story about called Mr. Blank.
Mr. Blank. Now, this story came to us, I think one of our producers saw it in the book review section of the newspaper, which, a lot of people might flick past.
Yeah.
But one of our producers, Gavin Alder, he might make a habit of reading the book review section. I don't know, but he saw it. It's a story about a man called Mr. Blank.
Yeah.
And this is one of those stories where it was fate, it was timing, it was a sliding doors moment. So a man by the name of Dean Manning, who may be familiar to some people, was going for a walk in Double Bay in Sydney. It was on council cleanup day, and Dean collects suitcases. Just something that he does, collects old, beautiful suitcases. And in the pile of rubbish, he's seen this beautiful old green suitcase. And so he stopped, opened it up, looked inside, and it was an absolute treasure trove. Inside the suitcase, letters, love letters, raw and filled with heartache.
Madrid, 30th of June 1961. My darling, mi vida, love me. Continuously I asked myself, he loved me?
There was also poetry, newspaper articles and photographs of models, actresses, performers. Mr. Blank left a trail of broken hearts.
The ladies were dressed like Doris Day, the men were gangsters. We seemed to be a bon vivant. I wanted to know who was who and where they fit in the picture, and became quite obsessed with putting it all together.
It took him years to piece together the story of who this man was, and all the photographs were of beautiful women, models and actresses of that era of the 1940s, Audrey Hepburn kind of look. The man who found it is actually the lead guitarist in a well-known 90s band called Leonardo's Bride.
That's right,
And he wrote that song, Even When I'm Sleeping, which was an absolute anthem for anyone that was a teenager in the 90s, myself included. And so he has that creative mind, and he has that, sort of bit out there kind of guy. And it just so happened to be that he was the guy who walked past on that particular day. Any other day, the council would have already cleaned it up. He might have been taking a different path on his walk. And it just sent his life in a completely different direction, because then he spent the next couple of years during the COVID lockdowns doing an absolute deep dive on who is Mr. Blank. And he has written a book.
All from a suitcase.
All about this man. He was one of those colourful Sydney identities, owned a lot of pubs, was an absolute heartbreaker, had women all over the planet writing him love letters and declaring their love for him. And just extraordinary to be able to meet him. And he had this little collection in his house of all these photos. It was like a detective novel. Yeah, and we're able to tell just a little snippet on a current affair.
Like, that's an easy story to tell for a newspaper, right? But for TV, it takes a lot of work.
Yes,
You know, you have to go and film it in certain places.
Yep.
You have to get all those photographs together. I mean, talk us through that.
Yeah, so we went to 4 different locations to shoot this story in one day. We went to, Dean, the author's place. We went to the apartment where Mr. Blank used to live. We went to the location in Double Bay where we found the suitcase. We went to one of his pubs, the Criterion in the city.
Yeah.
And then we had to collate all of the photographs as well, which thankfully Dean had done a lot of that work for us because he'd already written the book. But it did take a lot of putting together, a lot of work from our graphics department as well, just to bring it to life, because a book is one thing, but television and making it sustain, 6 or 7 minutes that people will watch on television can be a lot of work.
And it was beautifully shot too by Ollie Clark.
Ollie Clark shot that, and we also got Dean to sing a bit of his song as well, which for 17-year-old Lizzie, it was a bit of a thrill. Yeah.
And music makes the yarn too, right? I mean, people at home might take it for granted, when they watch TV, but that music that the editors use is all too powerful.
And I just love the outcome.
Timeless yarn, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of time, Davina, our reporter based up in Queensland, she did a beautiful story, which it was a follow-up story, which we do here and there. But these stories are usually 1 or 2 years apart. Yeah. This story it's an update story, 30 years in the making?
30 years in the making.
Yeah.
So this story, and I know I say I don't cry a lot, but I did cry watching this story as well. It's about a group of volunteers in Queensland, and they take old bicycles and turn them into wheelchairs and then have them shipped around the world to third world countries, communities that don't have the access to, equipment and medical treatment that we have in Australia. And these guys have been doing it for 30 years.
I thought if I make $1,000, I'd be fantastic. But in that first lot, we made $165,000 and that blew us away.
That little boy's face now beams from artwork on the 10,000th wheelchair built by the Surfers Sunrise Rotary volunteers.
Everywhere there's a button, we've sent wheelchairs, 31 different countries.
And it's great to highlight. That sort of work is fantastic. Great to highlight on a current event and give them a national platform.
And one of the volunteers,
yeah,
we got to meet all of them. One of them is 90 years old.
How
and
good.
He's still doing it. And they take apart these bikes. Nothing is thrown out. Everything gets repurposed into functioning wheelchairs. And they're just beautiful, beautiful men and women doing a great, great thing for their community.
Yeah, well done
communities around the world.
Well done to them and to Davina for that. That's a great story to go back and have a look on. As are all the stories that we do at A Current Affair.
They're all up on YouTube. You can catch them on 9 Now as well. And you can, delve into our archives and see what we were up to, or, delve into the archives from as recently as last week.
That's right. Any questions to answer today?
We do put the call out for questions every week. We do have another question to answer today.
Yeah, who's it from?
This one is from Becky, and she's written to us. She wants to know, how long does it take to film a story, an ACA story, and do you use everything that you film? You can take it away on this one.
Well, it ranges. It could be anywhere from a day, and you can turn around that particular story in the day and have it on air that night, or it can take 2-3 weeks or even 2 months,
yes.
Ticking away at it.
Yeah.
So, but usually, we could be out in a day and get everything we need, or 2 days.
And for a story that takes up, roughly 6 or 7 minutes on the program, how long would that roughly take if you were to shoot that in one day? What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's about a day's filming all up, but that could span over 2 days. A day to write and a day to edit. So that gives you some idea about the resources that go into these stories.
And then some days you get a same dayer.
Oh,
and that's
it's
a
all
same
go.
dayer.
It's all go.
It's all systems go.
All systems go. Everyone pitches in, which is great.
Yeah, but sometimes we might interview people for half an hour, and then what gets used is probably 2 minutes of that. But it doesn't mean that what they're saying is not important. It gives us the context and the background into weaving the story together. So just because it's not left on the cutting room floor, doesn't mean it's not essential to what we are doing.
Thanks, Becky. What else have we got there, Lizzie?
So there's another question.
Yes.
And you can ask us anything, as we say.
Yeah.
What is the weirdest thing in the Current Affair office?
Oh, my goodness.
The weirdest thing.
There's
We
a
won't say
number
the
of them.
weirdest person.
No. They could be sitting right here. Who knows? The weirdest thing closest to me would be a bottle of aftershave supplied by a well-known beer company, and this was a Christmas present, a staff Christmas present that we give out to Kris Kringle, that we give out to those that we give out to our colleagues.
And beer brands make aftershave now.
Yeah, did you know that? No,
I didn't, but I do now.
You do now, right? Because you smell it. You smell it every day. We get a waft of beer company branded aftershave. Whew, it's strong, isn't it? It's strong. But I'm not the only user, am I?
No, you're not.
No, we get a frequent visitor.
In fact, we're going to out him
Let's
right
do
here,
it.
right now.
Go.
Channel 9 News Sydney anchorman Peter Overton comes past our desk, because we sit opposite each other, comes past our desk every day at 3:30 and spritzes himself with a bit of beer-branded aftershave.
That's right.
Every single day without fail. So we like to say that 9 News is brought to you by Peter Overton, and he smells good while he does it.
Doesn't he? He's a regular. He pops in for a squirt on his way to the studio every day that he's on air, doesn't he?
Loves
but
it.
what I've known is that he started off with one squirt, one splash, and now he's up to 4 because he reckons it wears off by the time he gets down the hall to the studio.
But we love our visits from Pete, don't we?
We sure do.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're out of time, but what a great question. You can hit us up on our socials and watch all those stories on the social media platforms.
You can.
Yeah.
YouTube, 9 Now. You can also catch us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
TikTok.
And, of course, ask us your questions.
Yeah, keep them coming.
ACA@9.com.au.
Great. Good to see you, Lizzie.
You too, Steve.